Okay, there you go. I assume you can hear me now. Still haven't quite figured out the sound on this thing, but there you go, baby. Hang on. Hmm. Good Lord, that's good. Okay, fellas, all I got to say is welcome to episode 3 of the uh, the Crapshoot, fellas. This is Crapshoot. If you don't know what this is the internet game show where you are able to basically send me vials of your fecal paste from your butthole, and I'll put it in a gun, and you can shoot people with it. And at the end of the show, the person who gets the most shit on someone wins $1,000. None of that's true, but welcome to Crapshoot anyway. This is a show where we just kind of talk about whatever people want to. We shoot the shit, basically. I obviously have topics. We will talk about Disney and the boycotts today. We will talk a little bit about serial killers, whatever game news you want to talk about. But this is much more of a free-form show. If you're looking for the Gavin and Game Show, that is over at YouTube Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 3 o'clock. But for today and Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do this show, which is the Crapshoot. So let me bite into this lollipop real quick, and we will get started. Hang on. Hello, Spartan. And I say your name, pal. Let's call you Spartan. Hang on. Mm, 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 mm. So look, for the last look. That's the last eating I'm doing on today's stream. I promise. You guys probably can't hear that either, can you? Man, I gotta figure out this software. Hang on, guys. I apologize. It's new. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Hello, boy. Hang on, almost done. People are like, what the fuck is this I'm watching? The worst thing that ever happened. That's not really true. It's pretty fucking good. But I started working with this wonderful executive assistant. And, she does our shopping for us. And the worst thing in the world is when you are shopping for yourself, or it's actually good, you go down the candy aisle, you go down the crap food aisles, and you're like, okay, I've already got enough. I'm good. I've already got enough. I bought suckers. I'm good. But when I'm making a list for her, holy cow, man, I'm just like, oh, get this, get that, get this. And then I have a house full of crap, which is the problem. So I got exercise a little bit of fucking discipline. I do want to say something to my good friend, Book of Horror 13. And what I want to say to him is very simple. And it's basically this.
Wow, you
Maybe?
must be rich.
No, that's not working. Hang on. Let's try it again. I'm telling you, I'm getting used to this new. You just got an ad? I don't know what to tell you. I'm working on it, baby.
Wow, you must be rich.
There you go. That goes out to my good friend, Book of Horror. Thank you for subbing with Prime, which you can too if you have an Amazon Prime membership. You can pop that up and support your Papa Jaffe and all of the drugs that I like to buy. Okay, listen, let's talk about some stuff. So BB says, Jaffe, lots of gaming news today. What's your thoughts about Need for Speed coming out? Well, it's not really gaming news, right? They're just basically saying Need for Speed is coming out, and it's coming out on PS5 and Xbox and probably PC. It's not going to be for PS4, blah, blah, blah. And so, I mean, Need for Speed means nothing to me. That brand is not in any way, shape, or form something that really excites me. My mind is open. Need for Speed, what was it? Paradise was pretty fucking good, but I'm not like, jumping out of my skin to kind of play it. So the fact that it is going to be on PS5. I mean, I guess there are people who are going to be like, hey, I have a PS4 or whatever. I can't play it, but you know, there's got to come a time where they pull the Band-Aid off, right? I mean, part of it sucks because Sony is struggling so much with their manufacturing. I don't know if you saw. This was really interesting. I was going to talk about this on tomorrow's stream, but I'll kick it around a little bit with you guys today. I don't know if you saw the story that there's a rumor that the reason Xboxes and specifically S's, but also meaningfully X, is able to be out in retail. I had thought, and I think this is still to a degree true, that it was dealing with where the manufacturing plants are, and that Xbox has one in Mexico, and that's part of it. But a bigger part of it, they're saying, is because Xbox, Microsoft paid for sort of premium place in line at the chip manufacturers. And for some reason, I guess Sony didn't or weren't able to, or I have no idea. But it's the reason we're seeing Xbox outselling PlayStation over the last 2 months. And I don't think anybody is thinking, although I love my Xbox, but I don't think anybody is thinking that Xbox is selling more necessarily or only because more people want it. I think it's people can find it and they're tired of waiting and they're like, fuck it. And Game Pass is great. And you know, it's really going to be interesting because for whatever the reason Xbox is selling more, the more that they sell, the more it becomes the norm for people, and the harder it is to pull them into a different ecosystem once they've committed. So I don't know, man. Sony needs to sort of get some ducats and put out a motherfucking put some chip priority in place for them. Sony is still making PS4s though, while Xbox stopped the One series. Yeah, no, that's absolutely accurate. I mean, it you know, why is this not coming up? It must work for them. You know, Brett Moore, it must absolutely work for them. They must be making money, but I got Burnout Paradise mixed up with Need for Speed. But regardless, though, I don't really care. It means nothing to me. Max Payne, I am yes more interested in. Why is this not scrolling? Let's see what happens. I'm telling you guys, I'm learning. You guys should be able to see the whole thing, maybe, right? Nope, it's not scrolling. Anyway, whatever. So. Masakista, I am very good today. I'm very good. I'm a little sore for some reason. I don't know why I'm sore, but my upper left back is kind of bugging me a little bit. But besides that, I'm pretty fucking good, pal. So we got some stuff to talk about today. Again, this is a free chat show, so I will absolutely talk about whatever you guys want to today. But I don't come unprepared. I have topics. I definitely want to talk to some of you guys about, I'm just taking this off the screen because it don't make any fucking sense. I definitely want to talk to some of you guys about the Disney nonsense, the Disney boycott that's going on. But before I bring that up, I want to see if you guys know who this, I want to see if you know who this person is. I'm curious about that. Do you have any idea who, no, that's not what you want to see. Why is that up there? Here, let's. Oh, I know why that's up there. Oh, all right. See, I'm telling you. So I'm getting the hang of it. BB says, "What's happening with Konami and PlayStation?" I don't know if anything's happening with Konami and PlayStation. You think that's a MILF? I like how MILF isn't allowed to be written. That's bizarre. Yes, you can say MILF. I don't care. It's not Captain Hogwash. No. Anybody know who this is on your screen? This old lady. It's not Mrs. C's Candy. No, this is a woman, and I struggle with her name, Leonarda Cianciulli. Okay, and she was a serial killer, and she has become my favorite serial killer because of what she did. Now, this all happened in Italy. It occurred in Italy in 1939, 1940, in that period of time. Yes, Cot, all the Twitch stuff should still work. I think. Give it a try. But I'm not sure. But if not, I'll call your message out. So this happened in Italy. She killed 3 women from 1939 to 1940 in the span of 11 months. She was a sweet little old lady. Sweet little fucking old lady. Everybody loved her in town. You know what she did, though? This is great. It's horrible, but it's great now because it's almost 100 years ago, so you can kind of look back with a little bit of creepy nostalgia. So she took this soap, which is an industrial solvent that breaks wood down, and she used that to dissolve human bodies. It can also be used to make soap if it's mixed with fat or meat from a human. So what she did is she basically dissolved. She was not killing prostitutes, incredible belief. No, she basically dissolved humans in a pot and mixed their meat and sinew and various bones that were dissolved into powder, I suppose. And she made soap that she gave to her neighbors, and they thought she was a sweet little old lady. And she also made cake. It says, in order to make cake out of a person, she simply let her victim's blood coagulate. Then she dried it in an oven and mixed it with flour. From there, she would make the flour to make cakes and give them out to her neighbors. All this happened. They think. Craig, I'll answer that in just a second, buddy. All this happens, they think, because when she was young, she went to a psychic, and the psychic says to her, she says, hey, lady. And this is before she was a sweet looking old lady. She says, look, your kids are going to die. You're going to be a mom, but your kids are going to die. The only way to save your children is through human sacrifice. This is what she was told. She got pregnant 17 times, and lo and behold, I'm not even fucking with you. It's not April Fool's. I'm not even fucking with you. Lo and behold, 17 times. She had tons of miscarriages. 10 of them died when they were still young, and 3 suffered miscarriages. That means she lost 13. She was left with 4 kids. And then her son comes home and says, Mama, I'm going to go join the Italian army, which was, Mussolini and all that nonsense. And she's like, okay, that's what they think caused her to snap. She's like, I cannot lose my oldest son. I will do human sacrifice. So she started killing people. She had a really cool plan. Here's what she did. The first victim was lonely. She had a promise. She got a promise of a husband in Italy. I think she was from, I'm not sure where she was from, but she wasn't from Italy. She convinced the woman to tell no one about the marriage that she had set up for in Italy, the victim, and write letters and postcards to her friends and relatives to send once she arrived. But there was no one waiting, only the axe. So she got killed, and basically she'd had her people write all these fucking letters so they wouldn't think anything's wrong with the woman for a long time. And she did it 3 times. Listen to this one. This is the best one. She got an opera singer, and this is what in her memoir the serial killer wrote. This is her own words, fellas. She ended up in the pot like the other 2. Her flesh was fat and white. When it had melted, I added a bottle of cologne, and after a long time on the boil, I was able to make some of the most acceptable creamy soap you've seen. I gave bars to neighbors and acquaintances. The cakes I made with her, too, were better. That woman was really, really sweet. So there you go. By the way, the one last thing, she also went to a fortune teller when she was young. And the story is the palm reader says, in your right hand, I see prison, in your left, a criminal asylum, which is what it turns out happened. She went to a criminal asylum, the end of her life, and she died. She died there. I don't know. I mean, think about it. What I love about this is, I love it only in the way that you can love something 100 years later, right? Obviously people hurt, people died, blah, blah, blah. But what I love about it now is that it kind of sort of makes sense, right? I mean, if you had gone to a psychic and you had no children, and the psychic says, unless you start doing human sacrifices, you are going to lose all of your children. Most people would walk out of there and go, you're a fucking nutbag, but that was a lot of fun. Let's go get pizza, right? Well, this woman walks out of the psychic, a little whatever, wherever she works. I don't know where she worked. I don't know her. And literally over the next X years, she lost 14 of her children. Wouldn't you start to go, okay, the first one's a coincidence. The second, third, fourth, fifth are kind of weird. Something's going on, but maybe, I don't know. You lose the sixth kid and you have two choices. You stop having children because the psychic was right. Or you go, well, I love my kids. I still have kids alive. So fuck it. I guess I got to start killing people and sacrificing them. Deteku says, did the other three kids survive? It doesn't say. It's a great question. It doesn't actually go into what happened to her son that joined the army, but I don't know that. I don't know that. By the way, as a reminder, if you want to call in, you can call in on the Discord, and I'll take your call. Somebody was saying or was asking me, why would I give you my Prime subscription, Jaffe? What are you, a fucking moron? What advantage do I get if I already subscribe on YouTube? If you already subscribe on YouTube, I wouldn't do it unless you just want to, be crazy wealthy and just throw your money at me, which I'm not going to turn down. But you're not going to get much different. I'm also going to be opening up a Patreon soon, which will have the exact same rewards. It's more for people who want to support the various shows in their own way. Some people like supporting it here. Some people like supporting it in other places. I will tell you that, yes, you're going to get less ads. I don't have many ads. Maybe I set it up poorly, but my understanding is for every 20 minutes, there's a 30-second ad. So if you're getting any more of that, there's a fucking problem. BB says, Jaffe, there's a leak on the new Halo Infinite. Last Spartan standing. Oh, this dog. I heard about that. I fucking heard about that leak. I'm excited. But again, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. But the Halo, they released kind of like a state of Halo season 1, and they are absolutely talking about new maps coming in season 2. But it is a little weird, man. It's a little fucking weird that we're dealing with 6 months now, 7 months, 8 months by the time season 2 drops, and we haven't gotten shit. They're in trouble. Something's going on over there. I hate to say it. Ace, shut the fuck up. Thank you. Oh, he speaks English. My dog speaks English. Craig says, I would play a battle royale for sure if they keep the time to kill the same. I would too. I like the time to kill in that game a lot. Gwiz, first time chat. Thanks, buddy. He says, has the movie about the serial killer been made into a motion picture show? I don't think it has. No. I mean, it's possible, sure. But I don't know. Oh yeah, and then but anyway, if you subscribe though, then you don't have to worry about ads over here, and you get emotes and whatever. But it's whatever. And by the way, if you love YouTube and hate Twitch, these shows will eventually go over to YouTube 24 hours after they're here. So anyway, we can talk about that later. I know some people have preferences. I've never really understand preferences for YouTube, or it's a button on my phone that I go to Twitch or go to YouTube or go to whatever. I don't really think about it. Okay. We will talk in a moment about Disney, but Rob the Mod sent me this. When I first saw this, I'm going to show you something. When I first saw this, I thought it was a Halloween prop, like at the Halloween store. Obviously, Jaffe, you moron. But I mean, I got to show you this. This is insane. This is real. This is real. Hang on. Now there's sound, but it doesn't matter because you don't need it. I mean, there's a couple images I'll show you. Here we go. Look at that. Watch this. Here we go. Hang on to your butts, fellas. That is not a prop. That is not a skeleton. That right there, my little friends, is a real woman. She is 109 years old. What? How is that? She looks like E.T. I think it's a woman. It might be a man. I don't know, blah. Look at that shit. Look at she's so cute. Would you fuck her if let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Would you have sex with her if somebody sorry about that. So yeah. So I don't know, but no, when you say why does my mind go there? Because I think when I look at something that is so unusual, and I think there's another image. Hang on. Hang on. Here's another one. Look at this. Look at this. When I look at something so unusual like that, I have to automatically go to, well, I have to automatically go to like what I don't know why. I guess my mind goes there. And it's like, yeah, if somebody said how much money would you spend uh or would you take uh to have sex with her? I mean, right? I don't know. I guess you could close your eyes. That's terrible to say, but I mean, I listen to me. Listen to me. It says, I love how kids don't care; they just see grandma. I love what I love is how no one cares after you get to know somebody. You have to have had that experience where you're just kind of like, you get to know somebody, and whatever their malady or issues may be, very quickly those things vanish and you are just like, oh, that's like you said, that's grandma. I think it's fucking great. I think it's fucking awesome. Yes, it is real. By the way, J1M91, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that very much. I don't have all my shit set up, but I can say this to you, pal.
Wow, you must be rich.
You goddamn right, sir. You must be rich. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. This is CGI, Jaffe. Come on, says Masochista. It's not. It's not. I mean, I know you're fucking with me at this point. There's absolutely no way it's CGI. It's a real lady. Look at her. Look at how her head bounces and shit, man. That shit's real. All right, let's talk about Disney though. Let's talk about Disney. What's happening over there? So I have to assume you're kind of aware of this. If you're not, let me put it up for you right here. So yesterday there was a boycott outside of Disneyland. Okay. Oh my God. Funky Man says it would be like sticking your dick in a bucket of sand. I don't know how you know what that is, but it sounds terrible. Aries says, Jaffe, at some point you got to ask yourself, why can't I censor myself before asking a really fucked up question? Who, me? Because I would rather, I think that makes life fun. I think that makes conversations interesting. I like, let me tell you something, man. I fucking hate the small talk. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. When my kids were little and I'd have to go to the fucking, play dates and the dads were there and shit. And they wanted to talk about, oh, well, you see what happened to the fucking, the Jets last night. No, I didn't. No. Would you fuck a corpse? That's what I want to know. That's the deep shit. That's the interesting shit. But I guess that's why. But anyway, okay, so here's what's going on at Disney if you don't know. So a handful of things have gone down at Disney corporate, okay, where Disney corporate says we're coming out in opposition to the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. There's also now one that's up in Ohio. A very similar bill. That pissed off a bunch of people. And then there were a couple of people on a Zoom call that said, hey, she was like a creative executive at the company who says, hey, we're committing to have 50% of our characters, I think, LGBT and diverse by the end of the year. And then someone else was poorly quoted. But anyway, all this kind of led to a very religious group, I think. Let me show you what they played. This is it's, I'm not going to play the whole thing. Let me make it big for you. So here you go. So April 6th, this was yesterday. So they were basically showing all of the crap, and you can't even hear it because I don't have the sound working on. But basically, it opens with these reporters that you can see here talking about, this is good, it's inclusivity, on and on and on. So all the stuff that you would support if you are a free thinking, nice, normal, healthy human being, in my opinion. And then it kind of transitions to sort of, showing, oh, here's what they're doing. Look at all the gay Disney characters. This is I'm with dad. This was the leaked Disney executive, which I guess the sound's not working, but I'll tell you what she said in a minute. But this is where they're like, oh, her exact words were like, they let me do my gay agenda or something like that. But I'll talk about that in a second because she's kind of quoted poorly. And then it ends up. And then it basically ends up saying, hey, all of you people who really want to take care of kids, that don't want our kids groomed, that don't want our kids prepared and to become, I don't know what, victims of molesters or gay people or trans people or whoever the fuck knows, come on out and help us boycott this awful, evil company, Disney. And that was happening yesterday. I think it's still kind of happening today for the innocence of our children. And it's been interesting because, when I was talking to people online about this over on Twitter earlier today, it was and here's what I want to do. Here's what I would like to do on this very show right now. Obviously, I have an opinion. I am very progressive. I am pro LGBT. As long as the stories keep being good, I don't care who stars in them. Asexual, straight, gay, character can fuck monkeys for all I care. If it's a good story and it's appealing, and I don't give a fuck. And I don't think anybody else should give a fuck either, but whatever. But that's my take on it. But I'm fascinated by, like, if you choose not to respond in anger to people like this, but you choose to respond in curiosity and go, okay, what is happening here? Because I simply don't understand it. And so, but I haven't really been able to get a lot of good feedback. So maybe you guys can educate me whether you agree with what Disney's doing. I don't know, but I'm curious about it. Before I do that, though, I would like to say hello to Jezebelly. Thank you for being here. It's always good to see you, bud. I recognize you from the YouTubes. And then where did that nice fella go? Where did they go? Somebody dropped some ducats. Where'd your ducats go? There it is. Ian Esquire says, hey Jaffe, here's some bits, motherfucker. Thanks for giving us the Jaffe stream 5 days a week. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I love doing it. And I sure do appreciate that. Thank you, sir. But yeah, I'm kind of fascinating. Spazbo says I missed some context. So basically they are, they're saying we're in opposition to the Don't Say Gay bill because obviously they're a big business in Florida. So they a lot of their money goes and helps Floridians and employs them. And that's where the law was passed, where the Governor DeSantis signed it, and Disney's employees were like, this is unacceptable. And their new CEO finally came around and said, yeah, released a public statement. Okay. So they're opposed to the Don't Say Gay bill. They want to dramatically increase, at least according to one person. This is just one person. It doesn't mean it's going to happen at the level she wants, but they want to increase diversity in their storytelling in terms of LGBT people. Those are kind of, and the other thing they did is they got rid of gender at their theme park. So it used to be like one of Walt Disney's famous quotes is like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blah, blah, blah. I forget what comes after, but it's like when he opened the theme park. And they're like, we're getting rid of, I mean, you can come into the theme park and say boys and girls and men and women and whatever the fuck you want, as long as it's not, you can't say terrible things to people. It's a private company. But they're basically saying, hey, we're not going to do boys and girls and men and women anymore. We're just going to make it genderless because it's more inclusive that way. And those are the three things, Spazbo, that have people that are, in this case, religious, but I don't know. They're upset about it. So, as per usual, it's relatively difficult to find somebody to defend it live. I mean, if you have an opinion, and I'll tell you something, here's one of the great things about this piece of software over OBS, is I can literally bring you into the stream right now on camera and audio. If you want to talk about it, I'll send you a link. In fact, I'll just put the link out right now. And you do with that link what you want. If you want to join me on the show and talk about these things, great. If not, not a problem. There's the link. Click it. You can have your camera. You cannot have your camera. Doesn't matter to me. An ad just started playing, and now I don't know what you're saying. Well, okay, I got to figure out this ad shit. Hang on. Let me just turn off all the ads. Let me see if I can do that. 1 second. Okay, I don't know how to do it right now, but I will do it for the next stream. BB says, Jaffe, there's a poll from research at YouGov getting a lot of attention. 40, Jesus Christ, I know, I saw it. All you want to do is talk games, baby. This is not, I mean, we'll talk games, but it's on the show tomorrow. 46% of US PlayStation owners interested in Game Pass due to Activision deal. What they actually said is if Activision games were going to be on Game Pass, 46% of Switch and PlayStation owners would be interested in Game Pass. That's what, trust me, I'm with you, baby. I got the news, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, I mean, I haven't researched it enough to really find out what that poll was referring to. But I mean, we can look, man, it's your show in terms of on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you guys would rather talk video games, I'll tell you what I got lined up. I thought the Disney stuff was fascinating. However, it does seem like none of you guys are that interested. Maybe you're all just sort of progressives, or you don't really care, which is totally great. That's how I think most people should be. You only have to care because people are pushing back and saying, oh, this is bad, this is wrong, which I, of course, have a problem with. All right. So, well, there's a bunch of stuff we can talk about when it comes to the Disney thing, but I'll move on from that. Twitch is not functioning well right now, says Eternal. Never thought I'd like YouTube more, but minus the worst moderation and lack of community features. Why is Twitch not functioning well? What's happening? What's happening with Twitch? Is it just the ads that are coming up, or something else going on? I am curious about that. Well, I can keep talking Disney, but I mean, it sounds like you guys all agree. I mean, what's there to say? The don't say gay law is a travesty. It's probably unconstitutional. The Disney executive that is being touted as a Disney executive, talking about the gay agenda, is not a Disney executive. It is a Disney executive producer on one of their TV shows that was expressing the fact that when she goes to work on her show, the Disney people don't care because she's an exec on the show and it's her show. They don't care if she's making a show that has LGBT people in it. She's like, it's not a big deal to them. So Uncle Fuzznut says, how is waiting until 4th grade to bring up sexuality unconstitutional? It's that part of it is not the unconstitutional part. The problem with the bill is it is intentionally worded very vaguely. I'll tell you exactly. There's a couple of vague parts, but this is the most vague part. It says classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3, or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. Okay. Because it is so vague, right? Yeah, you're Masochista, you're Uncle Fuzznuts, you're wrong. You're simply, you have been given false information, Uncle Fuzznuts. Uncle Fuzznut says, it just says schools in Florida are not allowed to teach kids about gender fluidity, sexuality, all that kind of stuff. That is absolutely not. Masochista, you don't got him. That's not the issue. People think that's the issue, which is why they are so like, well, what's the problem? Here's the issue. The issue is it doesn't define key terms like age appropriate and developmentally appropriate. This is beyond third grade. Okay. School personnel, classroom instruction, sexual orientation, or gender may not occur in kindergarten through grade 3 or in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in accordance with state standards. Okay. So number one, this goes well beyond kindergarten, but even beyond that, it doesn't define age appropriate or developmentally appropriate. So here's some examples of things that could go tits up. This is an example from Vox. Suppose, for example, Mrs. Smith is a second grade teacher married to a woman. One evening, while Smith and her wife are shopping at the mall, she runs into one of her students and they say hello to each other. The next day, the student asks Mrs. Smith, Ms. Smith, who the woman she was with. And Smith responds, "Oh, that's my wife." Is this conversation with the student occurs in a classroom? Does it constitute classroom instruction? No one knows. The insidiousness of Florida's law is that teachers who won't understand how to comply with the new law are likely to over-censor their speech in order to protect themselves from being accused of violating the law. Now, it gets worse than that. It gets worse than that. And no, the Incredible Leaf. Incredible Leaf says, Jaffe, are they just leaving it to the schools to decide? That would be a step up. Still wouldn't be acceptable, but that would at least be a better bill. No, listen to this. This is crazy. So all it takes is any parent without any evidence to say this, I have decided that this is not age appropriate. There's no logic for what's age appropriate. There's nothing in the bill that says what's age appropriate. Nothing in the bill says what state standards are when it comes to this. Developmentally appropriate is what it says. Age appropriate is what it says, but there's no definition, right? Well, a parent can say, I find that little exchange I just said to you about Miss Smith, I find that offensive, like real busybody, annoying person. That's not Christian. That's not godlike. I don't want my kids knowing they're gay people, blah, blah, blah. Well, listen to this. Under the bill, parents can bring private lawsuits against school districts that violate the ban. That means any school district that is even suspected of violating the law could face crushing legal fees. And even if a school district complies with whatever standards the educational department eventually comes up with, a parent may still sue, and there's no guarantee the judges will agree with the department's interpretation of the law. These private lawsuits are a recipe for intimidating individual teachers into overcompliance as the only way a school district can fully protect itself from expensive litigation to make sure its teachers don't say anything that angers the most sensitive parents. In essence, it's saying the Don't Say Gay bill deputizes the most prudish parents to enforce it. There's one more example, which was just really, I thought, devastating. Here it is. Listen to this. It effectively turns the most squeamish anti-LGBTQ parent in any public school into the bill's enforcer. The bill relies on private lawsuits for enforcement. It permits parents to file a lawsuit against their kid's school district to compel compliance with the bill's vague requirements. And those parents can potentially win money, damages, plus reasonable attorney fees if they prevail. Here's the questions. May a gay teacher display a picture of their spouse on their desk? May a straight teacher do the same then? Suppose a third grade student asked a teacher who the highest ranking openly gay official is in the U.S. government. I'm sure a third grader wouldn't ask that. Let's say it's an eighth grader. Is the teacher allowed to respond with the correct answer? Pete Buttigieg. Or do they have to blow off the question? What if a book taught in high school English class has a gay character? Or what if the book has no openly gay characters, but a busybody parent reads the book and concludes it has homoerotic undertones? If a second grade student has two mothers, may a teacher casually mention this fact in the same way they might mention any other student's parents, or is that forbidden? And it goes on and on and on and on. So this is not, and again, I understand. I understand if Uncle Fuzznuts, what, and again, I don't know if you've changed your views or not. It doesn't matter. You're entitled to your views, of course. I respect that. But so many people that I have talked to seem to think, oh, well, they're teaching kids about sex in third grade and trans people in second grade. It's like, that's not the problem. But it's so much easy, God damn it, Jeffy. It's so much easier to vilify in the left or the right, both sides do it, into cartoon characters. Do you really think, I mean, seriously, I mean, I know you can point to evidence of outliers, but do you really think the number of people who are opposed to this bill are like, no, I want second graders to learn all about, anal sex or whatever, or scissoring. I don't fucking know. But, right? I mean, I'm not saying anything is fundamentally wrong with those things, but they shouldn't be learning about straight sex either. Age appropriate for 1 to 3rd graders are like, oh, romance, it's nice. That's pretty much it. What else do they need to know, if anything? So I think that's the problem with it is, and I think fundamentally the people who really have a problem with it are probably a little homophobic, and that's okay. I mean, it's not okay to act out on their homophobia, but if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. It's unfortunate, but it's also dangerous though, because if these topics are avoided at school, like, I mean, I'm telling you, I know this guy, really well-known author and screenwriter now. I'm not going to tell you his name. Went to college with him. I've talked about this guy before. And he was from a very religious family, I think in the South. I don't know where he was from, but he was gay, and he knew he was gay for a long time, in like high school, junior high, what have you. And he came out, and his parents basically were like, at first they were just like, you're going to burn in hell, you're evil, blah, blah, to their own son. How you can do that, I don't know. And then they threw him out, right? I mean, sometimes, I know it sounds like a trope from a movie or a cliche, but sometimes the only person a kid can turn to is a beloved teacher, right? Well, listen to this. It says, American Psychological Association President Frank Worrell said in a statement on the bill, blocking discussions of sexual orientation and gender identity for kids is inherently wrong and risks stigmatizing and marginalizing kids who may realize their difference at a young age. It can lead to depression, anxiety, self-harm, and even suicide. And I can tell you something, as a papa of a trans boy, this kid went from one of the happiest kids you've ever seen to a couple of years in middle school where we did not know what was going on. He just had crushing anxiety, social anxiety. When he came out, when he was supported, kid's happier. He's back to where he was. Happy, tons of friends, very healthy kid. People are, and I don't think they're mean. I think the knee jerk is to look at him and go, that's a mean person on the right of the political spectrum. I don't, and some of them are assholes, and some of them are Machiavellian fucksticks like DeSantis, who doesn't really give a shit. He just wants to get elected president. But I think the majority of those people out there protesting either have misinformation or they just don't really understand. Like, I mean, I literally was talking about this on Twitter. And I had somebody write to me and say, so you support grooming kids? And I was just like, and I'll get to the chat in a second. I'm not ignoring you guys. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Where in any shape or form would you think anyone suggests that because you support LGBT folks, you support molesting children. Hang on. All right, fellas, I apologize. Look, my number one job is being a papa. I had to deal with some stuff. People are afraid, says, who is this? I can't. Oh, that's Brett. I don't know why I can't read your name when it's in blue on the thing. People are afraid, says Brett Moore, and then they take their political views to the extreme when most issues in real life exist in the middle. Life is not black and white, but laws are written like it is. I mean, laws are meant to be black and white. They have to be black and white in some ways. But ultimately, though, yeah, the idea that these parents are out there saying that this is going to lead someone to like their kids are being groomed, I don't understand where that's coming from. So if you understand where that's coming from, please let me know. But the idea that, yeah, so Brett is saying, are they afraid it will rub off on their kids or something? What happened to being a parent? Well, look, it doesn't even, you're right about what happened to being a parent, but let's throw that out for a moment. The logic that suggests that if a child is exposed in whatever age to information about LGBT things, right? That they'll become someone on that alphabetized spectrum. What did that? Look, I mean, okay. There's two questions actually. There's two things to say about that. Number one is there's not only is there no evidence that is how things work, but there's evidence to the contrary, because it's not like I'm straight because I was raised with only straight context. I had a gay uncle. I have a gay brother. I went to Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is full of gay sex and trans folks, probably 20 times a year in midnight showings. I was exposed. I'm not looking to have the sexy time with a man, and I'm not looking to transition to be a woman. So I don't know where they get that idea. But the other part is this, though. Let's assume for the moment that there is there's not, by the way, but let's assume science can say, right, Jeffy, scientifically science says, you know what, there's 20% chance that if you were exposed to LGBT content before the age of 10, more than 40 hours, there's a 20% chance you will turn out to be L or G or B or T. Okay. So why is that even bad? I mean, unless you are hardcore religious and you believe everything that's in the Bible verbatim. And okay, in that case, good luck being consistent in your views, but at least you can kind of go, okay, you're crazy, but I know where the crazy's coming from. And you put that above everything else, okay, fine. But most people don't. Most people are not that. So what? Your kid turns out to be gay. Is he happy? Is she happy? Your kid turns out to be a trans kid, trans adult. Are they happy? What do you care? What do you give a fuck? Let me go to the chat. Um, This is Eternal says, we all remember being told all the time in school, we better pursue the opposite sex or else. Right. It never happened. Uncle Fuzznut says, I don't think you're correctly understanding the opposing sides. Then please call in, stream in, text in. What am I missing? Legend says, get confused and don't know what is what anymore. I'm not entirely sure what that means. That man, Jezbelly says, used to be a woman. Oh my God, I'm so confused now. My development is stunted. It's chaos. That's a really dumb argument. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. Tentative 2 says, you know what kind of worries me? I think for some people, it can be an impulsive thing to do. What can be an impulsive thing to do? You are born, says Yorkie, as all of the things, and you only discover the chemical mix during puberty. That's not accurate, actually. My brother knew he was gay well before he was 12, 13. And a lot of kids know they're gay or they aren't in the right body when they're tiny children. That doesn't mean if you're 4 and you say, Mom, I feel like a guy, that the mom should go out and start putting the kid on hormone blockers at 4 years old. But the idea that these kids won't know till they're 18, again, I know I've lived it and you guys haven't, and or at least some of you guys haven't, and I can appreciate that. But what I can tell you is this idea of, we're just saying wait till the kid's 18 and let them decide when they're an adult, is really problematic, because those are the key development years of kids. And to not, all I can tell you is what you would basically be saying to me if I lived in a state where kids were not allowed to express the trans aspect of themselves in a number of ways, which I won't go into because it's no one's business, and I don't think my son would want me to tell everyone. He might, but I haven't asked him. That you know, I would be a shit parent at that point, because I would have been actively taking what I know my son needs to be happy and whole and healthy and saying, no, I'm not going to let you do that, because why? Who gives a shit? I like this one. Markram IM says, I knew I liked girls in first grade. Me too. So why is it different if you're gay? Absolutely. There's a girl named Shannon Inman. I was in third grade. I bought her a rabbit. Hey, I have a picture. You want to see the girl I had a crush on in first grade? So I want to show you the girl I had. Let me tell you a story real quick. I'll get back to all the chat. I'm not going to forget any of your chats if they're compelling. I will get to them. I have to show you this picture though. So I'm on the Facebook, which I'm rarely on. But a buddy of mine that I went to grade school with. Oh God, don't tell me after this. Come on. 2-account authentication bullshit. She was cleaning up her place, and she says, "Oh, hey, I found a picture of you and me in the class back in first grade." I'm like, "Oh shit, really?" And so let me show it to you real quick. How do I rotate it? Can I rotate it? She sent me a vertical picture. Hang on. Okay, here we go. I'll do it. Hey. Let me take care of you. I got you, fellas and fillettes. One moment. I just got to rotate it. Okay, hang on. All right. Mode. Can I rotate it? I've gone to fucking Photoshop with this fucking thing. Come on, man. The snipping tool can go fuck itself. That's all I'm saying. All right. There it is. Save. Now let me bring it up to you. Sorry about this, guys. I really want to show you this. In the meantime, let me read. I don't understand, says Darth Nugget, why the T is even in LGBT. It's not a sexual orientation, and it's not as clear that people are born that way. When people have a problem with the gender ideology, they automatically assume to have an issue. Well, are you LGBT? I'm not. So I don't know why it's there. I mean, it's there. Maybe it's I mean, who cares? What does it matter why it's there? Okay, let me show you this. Okay, 1 second. Open. Like, Jesus, Jaffe, do you really think that we want to see your fucking pictures? I know, but it's Crapshoot, baby. On Crapshoot, we go all over we never know. Okay. I think that's working again, right? Hang on. Okay, let me open up Twitch again. I don't want to lose y'all's comments. Hang on. There we go. Oh, there we go. I'm so glad I didn't lose your comments. Okay. 1 sec. Okay, 1 sec. Let me move this screen over here. All right, and we are back in business, fellas. All right. Okay. Here's what I was going to show you. You're like, dude, we don't really care. I know, but I'm saying, somebody brought up, when I was in first grade. This is a picture of me in first grade that a friend of mine sent me from Facebook. Okay, so here we go. Share. There you go. Now watch this. So if you zoom in, hang on. This is such a shit tool. Such a shit tool. That's me right here. All right, that's me. That's little David Jaffe wearing the Spider-Man shirt, of course. Right now, it's first grade. I can't rotate. That's why I crashed it last time. I can rotate, but not with all this other shit running. Okay, So I had a mad crush on this girl. I'm just going to give you your first name, Stephanie. Okay. Paste it into Paint. I don't have MS Paint. Oh, God damn it. All right. Let me try. Let me fucking try. Yeah. Rotate your monitors. God damn it. Hang on. Okay. What is it called? What should I just look up? It's called MS Paint. All right. Paint. God. All right. Okay. Hang on. Let me bring it into Paint. All right. In Paint and then rotate. Okay. There we go. All right. Now let's make it bigger. Okay. Yeah, you guys are right. I was wrong. I appreciate it, fellas. Okay. This is me when I was a little kid. Where do I get rid of this thing? Okay. So there's an ad. Yeah, sorry. I'll figure it out. But here, this is me as a little kid, right? This was Stephanie. It is still Stephanie. Raging crush. Raging fucking crush. Okay. This was my best friend and remains one of my best friends, Carrie. Okay. Well, we both had a huge crush on Stephanie. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's not the picture. Okay. Oh, right. I can do it over here. Okay. I'm gonna make this make sense to you guys because I know this is complex. So here's Carrie. Here's me or Stephanie. We both loved her in first grade, right? So number one, to the actual concept that we're actually talking about, don't tell me that I can have a raging crush on her and he can have a raging crush on her and we grew up to be straight. So you're telling me that if this kid, I know that he always got picked on, not for any reason about anything, just some kids do. I hated it. I hated he got picked on. Good kid. But here's a kid. So let's say this kid had a massive crush on this guy. That doesn't happen in first grade, but this happens in first grade. Interesting. Anyway, this is the girl who sent me the picture and said, dude, I found this picture of you and I thought you would think it's cool. You look so devious, blah, blah, blah. But what's funny is these guys were best friends. And I remember once they did a contest. This is kind of going off the rails here, but I got to tell you, they did a contest where they were running back and forth like a race. And Stephanie intentionally fell. They faked it. And they faked it because they wanted to see if either me or Carrie would run over and help her. And once they decided which came to help Stephanie, that would be the guy that she liked. I'm not saying it's sexual attraction, Toby the Yorkie, but it is very much still kind of puppy love or whatever you call it. It's not a nothing. Okay. And what I'm saying is if you are a kid who you're this kid, let's say you end up being a gay dude. I'm not saying he did. I don't know this kid anymore. And if I could go home or go to the teacher or go to my friends and say, oh my God, I'm going to marry Stephanie when she's older. And Carrie's like, no, I'm going to marry Stephanie. And the teacher's like, you know what, kids, you're young. You have your whole life, whatever. But if this kid comes the teacher and says, I'm going to marry this dude, let's call him Brock. I'm going to marry Brock. Well, with this new law in Florida, she just can't even say anything. And if the kid goes home, or if this kid's mom is crazy religious woman, and he goes home and says, oh yeah, this dude wanted to marry Brock. What'd the teacher say? And the kid says, I don't know. I don't know if she said anything. I was playing Pokemon. Well, suddenly the mom, who's a busybody fuck, is like, I'm going to sue the school. This is a terrible law. It's a terrible fucking law. And it's built on the back mostly of ignorance, but it's also built on the back of hatred. But, what do but again, I don't remember who helped her up. I think we might have both. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was, Legends. Or a gun. No, I didn't help her up. I did not help her up. And neither did Carrie. Because we found out what they were doing. And we said, oh, fuck it. We're not going to be fucking, taken advantage of. Fuck that shit. All right. But anyway, the point is, so you got to take that off the table. You got to take it off the table that these folks are actually just not, I don't know. Okay. I think it was Uncle Fuzznuts that says I'm missing the point. Uncle Fuzznuts, if you're still here, I would very much like to understand how I'm missing the point. Because look, if you guys hear all of this about these laws and whatnot, and you're still saying, nope, Jaffe, nope, you're absolutely wrong. I want to know why. I want to know why these Disney parents are out there literally saying this is going to turn our kids gay and we're going to groom these kids and all this shit. What are they talking about? Toby says, this is too close to home. I get it. If I had an inkling of relatability, I'd feel the same way, but the demographic is very small. Incredible Leaf says it's fear on the part of, yeah, I guess, but why do you got to be so fucking scared? What are you scared of? Uncle Fuzznet says it's too tough to text. Well, you can call in or you can stream in. You're not totally wrong though, but you were just talking about something that didn't really matter in the grand scheme of the bill. What was I talking about that didn't matter in the grand scheme of the bill? I think that the only stuff I mentioned about the grand scheme of the bill had to do with the fact that these teachers could be, sued. And in being sued, it creates a chilling, free speech issue. Jaffe says, Leaf, why were you guys so scared of communists and blacks? I was never scared of communists or blacks. Now, black communists, come on, they're crazy. But no, I mean, we were scared of communists historically, I guess, because some people thought there was a reason to be. Maybe, I don't fucking know. As for black people, I get it. Let me think about this. Why would American white people who are scared of blacks be scared of black people? Well, I know if somebody came and took me from my family and abused me and made me work for them and took me from my land and my home and murdered me and my friends and my family, I'd be angry. So maybe that's, maybe deep down, it's like, well, wouldn't you be fucking pissed? Hell, I don't know how, I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. I'm not a black guy. I can't speak to it, but I can't imagine how more black Americans aren't pissed. I mean, what a horrible thing. Yeah, that's not me. That was my great. Yeah, I know. No one says it's you. Anyway, whatever. I'm trying to keep an open mind. I'm trying to understand the other side, because I don't want to just be this guy who's ranting. Because I'm curious. It's like, I don't think the other side is any more of a cartoon character than my side. Yeah, Incredible Leaf says it's fear. Fear makes people do dumb shit. Last thing on this subject I want to show you, and I don't know why this hit my feed, because I don't follow Oreo, but this hit my feed. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but this is a commercial on Twitter from the Oreo people. And it's basically about, I guess, a kid is coming out to his family. And you can go over and watch the whole movie somewhere else. So Oreo made a commercial about it, right? And then people are like, you lost a customer. And so why are you getting political? What is political about this? What is political about this? Why would you lose a customer because one of their many commercials deals with a kid coming out? I don't understand that either. The fact the bill is vague, says Masochista, makes me wonder if it was vague on purpose. Oh, fuck yeah. I don't know if it was to keep people fighting with each other. I think it was because, I mean, you may be right. Certainly that benefits the people in power, but it also may have been because it allows them to get in there and really push the agenda they want, which is they don't want gay folks. They don't want trans folks. They don't want probably Jews and Muslims. I mean, there is a right-wing Christian group in America, not all Christians, most Christians, not at all. But there is a group in America that really believes this shit and really thinks that the end times is coming. I mean, it's shit's crazy, man. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to be that. I don't want to tell you it's crazy. I know some people believe in it. I'm trying to be respectful, but there's a point where it hurts people, man. It's fucking crazy. I don't see how people can still buttress up their arguments with this shit, this religious stuff. Anyway, there you go. That's the Disney stuff. You know, we'll see where it goes, but that's where we're at right now. By the way, if you were curious about this next story, mushrooms may talk to each other and have a vocabulary of 50 words. I saw a documentary, and it was really they covered hang on. They covered a bunch of different psychotropic drugs and psychedelics and all this shit. And one of the stories they covered was a woman who does research on the fact that she genuinely feels, she's working at Harvard, man. She genuinely feels that plants have some degree of sentience and that they do communicate. And now we have this story today. Mushrooms may communicate electronically through what is known as the mycelium network. New research reveals differences between species have their own languages formed through trains of electricity spikes, with each language, quote, typically having 50 trains equivalent to words. I don't know if they go into what those words are. For the new paper, this doctor tested 4 fungi species to see if they spoke the same language. Each of those he tried turned out to be quite different. One had long intervals between spikes, another a richer array of words formed from varying combinations of high and low pulses. I mean, think about that. It's like that Amy Adams motion picture show with the Arrival, right? Where they were just kind of like, well, the way those aliens, you see that movie? The way those aliens communicated in Arrival was insane. It was insane. Eternal says, looks like something's gone to court. Funny you mentioned that it's being challenged in court. You mean this particular Don't Say Gay bill? The Don't Say Gay bill is to people who study that shit suggest that it is violates the First Amendment. It's possible. But anyway, yeah, mushrooms are talking to each other. What else we got today? What is your old Papa Jeff got lined up for you? Hang on, I'm not going to let you down. I got stuff to talk about. I'm always ready, baby. You don't even know. You don't even know. Listen to this. Listen to this fucking story. Dog who gnawed off her own leg, desperate to save herself, finds her forever home. Pitbull Bella refused to be forgotten when she was left to die and sacrificed her own back leg. She was abandoned and left to die in the back garden with no food or water or shelter. Just 1 year old, she was tied up outdoors for weeks on end, tangled in 2 steel cables. Bella became incredibly malnourished, folks, and underweight. In a desperate attempt to escape, she chewed off her own back leg. Her painful cries alerted a member of the public to her distress and ultimately saved her life. And now she's happy. I don't know. I think you would. I think I would. Like if somebody said you have to cut off a limb to save yourself, I think anybody would, right? I would. I mean, I haven't seen that movie with James Franco where he's trapped and he has to kind of do that with his arm, but I think it would be terrifying, and I don't even know how you would do it. Like maybe in that movie they explain it, but like if you were trapped and you had to cut off your own leg, would you do it fast? Right? I mean, can you do it fast? Is it possible to just, if you're the one doing the cutting, is it possible for you to sit there and go, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to think about it. And it's done in 20 minutes? Or is it more like you take a little bit off at a time and you're in terrible, terrible pain, but you just can't do it quick? I don't know. I have no idea, but I think you would do whatever you need to do to survive. Massachusetts says, I think you would do it fast. Your mind wouldn't let you do it slow. Blah says it has to go at once. You'd bleed out first, Joe says, if you take the time. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I've never understood that anyway. I've never understood how you can lose an arm or a leg in a terrible accident and not bleed out in 10 seconds, but you can have a specific artery nicked and you're dead in 8 seconds because you're all the 6 gallons of blood the human has in the body is just gone in 5 seconds. But I don't need to understand. I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm just saying it's fascinating. I have one more dog story to tell you if you're interested. Listen to this dog story. It's cute. Here's the title. I'll get to you, Moses MK. Let me bring that up so I don't forget. If you're ever curious why dogs are so cute, here you go. The real reason dogs do puppy eyes at owners. A study in Pittsburgh has revealed exactly why puppies are more expressive now that they're than their wolf ancestors, and how it has to do with humans. There's an article from the Mirror from Nia Dalton. You can never stay mad at a dog for long. She writes, no matter how much mud they've run through the house with or how many treats they've secretly stolen, it's almost impossible to be angry at a cute, innocent, adoring face. New research has proven that it's all down to science and not because you're a softie. For decades, scientists and researchers have been trying to figure this out, how dogs got puppy eye expressions. The results, the research that revealed it, it's because of evolution and selective breeding. Listen to this. Puppies now literally have an additional facial muscle that they never had before, which explains their downright adorable look. I should get an extra facial muscle. I should be gifted that somehow, and then I can look super cute and get my way all the time. Their trait to form human-like facial expressions was achieved through thousands of years of artificial selection. The Professor Burroughs, who did the study, says dogs are unique from other mammals in their reciprocated bond. It's reciprocity, but reciprocated bond with humans, which can be demonstrated through mutual gaze. Sometimes we do not observe between humans and other domesticated mammals like horses and cats. Our main findings prove a deeper understanding of the role of facial expressions play in dog-human interactions and communications. These differences suggest that having faster muscle fibers connected or contributes to a dog's ability to communicate with people. And that's something. That's something. Because here's what I'll tell you. Now, you guys, I don't know if you know or not. Some people know I don't believe in the Yahweh, the Jesus, the Buddha, the Muhammad. I don't believe in God. I'm a agnostic, and I've been agnostic since I was a little wee lad, 7 years old. And so there's no doubt in my mind that the traditional God that a lot of people pray to is horse shit. Horse shit. There's a million ways I could prove it to you if you had an open mind, but I'm sure you've already done the looking into it. You know, if you have an open mind, the specifics are horse shit. Max says, I lost a customer. Oh, well. But I will say this, though. As I do get older and as I learn more about the world, I definitely think there is way more going on than we're aware of. And if it turned out at the end of the day that there was some kind of programmer or creator, I would go, oh, okay, that makes sense to my brain. But I'll tell you two things that fascinate me. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this, please? Okay. The first one is I'm watching a TV show with my family last night, and it is the show The Good Doctor, which I love. It's a terrible show, but it's really entertaining. And so on the show, they have this religious patient, and they're talking about, the doctors are talking about God. One woman believes, the other doesn't. And one of the religious ladies says, the other religious lady, or to the non-religious lady, she says, well, what do you think happens when we die? And she says, well, I assume it's kind of the same that happened before I was born, which is a lot of nothing. But I've seen that shot down, which fascinated me, because honestly, the minute somebody made it clear to me that there was stuff going on in your life that you don't remember from when you were like a fetus and when you were born and when you were a little toddler. There's a lot of things, but you don't look back at being 2 and say, well, it was nothing. It's like, no, it was absolutely something. You just don't remember it, right? That doesn't mean there's anything before birth. I'm just saying that I thought it was interesting, right? And then when you think about the fact that if you were to design a system of life, if you were a programmer of a simulation or a creator or whatever, and you were to design a system of life, I mean, as a designer, as somebody who has designed video games, I'm telling you, the ultimate fantasy is the holodeck. You don't want your player, you want them so immersed in the game that they don't even know they're playing a game. And so if you really were at the technology level where you can make a simulation, and or you were just a creator of humans and you were giving them this experience, you would probably go, well, I don't want them to know what was before, because if they do it, none of this matters. They'll have a rough day and kill themselves. It'll just be like a vacation. Oh, I was alive for my vacation for 2 weeks. Then I, jumped off a bridge and now I'm back to where, it goes against the nature of man wanting to procreate, to know what came before. Right. So that's part of it. The other part of it is, I don't know if you've seen this. I've never forgotten this. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to tell you something. Last words. I'm going to read you the last words of somebody famous. Okay. And I'll tell you who it is afterwards. This was only about 10 years ago. This is not some old dude from some philosopher from 1200 BC. Okay. This happened in 2013 is when he died. Okay. Okay. The one thing, it's not Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, everybody knows. Steve Jobs' last words, according, nobody really knows, were wow, 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 wow. Wowie, wow, wow. It was doing Borat. No, this is not Jobs. The one thing people might be surprised about this guy, I'm not saying his name, said he didn't know if he could believe in God. He had doubts. But towards the end, something really interesting happened. The week before he passed away, I would see him and he would talk about having visited this other place. I thought he was hallucinating. I thought they were giving him too much medication. But the day before he passed away, he wrote me a note. And this is what the note said. This is all an elaborate hoax, because he couldn't speak towards the end. He wrote, this is all an elaborate hoax. I asked him, what's a hoax? And he was talking about this world, this place. He said it was all an illusion. I thought he was confused, but he was not confused. He wasn't visiting heaven, not in the way we think of heaven. He described it as a vastness that you can't even imagine. It was a place where past, present, and future were happening all at once. That was Roger Ebert, incredibly articulate, wonderful writer, film critic, Roger Ebert, sharing with his wife a week before he died that he realized that this life was all an illusion. He wasn't low on oxygen. He wasn't on morphine. It wasn't the drugs. According to his wife, Chaz, he was very cogent. So I just don't know. But I find it just delightfully fascinating. I love this stuff. I'm very, I definitely don't want to die anytime soon. But I'm so curious, right? Even if it's nothing, I mean, I won't mind. The worst case is it's nothing. I mean, the worst case is what religious people believe, but come on, so stupid. Hell, brimstones. BB says it's an illusion. The next life in heaven is real. Okay, let's go back to Moses MK. We're talking about the Disney stuff. These schools you talk about that need to protect kids from being gay or becoming gay are the same schools that do shooter drills, right? I mean, I think they do both, sadly. But yeah, I mean, I still haven't heard anybody, and I apologize if I missed your chat and you were proving it. But I still haven't heard anybody explain to me a position of these people who actually think a child is being groomed or being taught about actual sex education in third grade or will become gay. I've never fucking heard any evidence to that. Incredible Leaf, thank you, buddy. He says, have you heard the theory? 1 second. Have you heard the theory, he asks, that when you see the white light, it's the start of a new life and you are being reborn? Yeah, I know. I mean, I have, maybe I have. Maybe I have. I don't know. But I definitely, I've heard that. I've heard that is your brain sort of beginning to drain of oxygen. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. But certainly that is, I guess, one theory for sure. The earliest memory I have is like of a color. I'm not even fucking with you. I remember this very light blue color. And I don't know where it was from, but it's the first thing my brain kind of knew. Eternal says if they truly believe that, then they should produce scientific evidence that somebody can be turned gay. I would love to see that evidence. It's so sick. But again, there's even a better question. Like I said, let's say you can be turned gay. Let's say there's a possibility. Let's say if you, I don't know, listen to 20 Elton John songs and 12 Lady Gaga songs, and you, what's stereotypical gay stuff, and you, whatever, you like RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't fucking know. Let's say those things will turn you gay. So, I mean, that's the bigger question, right? So what? So be gay, be trans, be lesbian, be bi, be A. Why do you care? Why do you care? Think about how creepy that is. Think about how creepy that is. Why is a parent thinking about their child's sexuality anyway? I don't want to think about that. I want my kids to be happy. I want them to eventually, if they're interested in that, find love. If it's romantic love, if it's sexual love, and that's what they're looking for, great, as long as they're healthy and happy and taking care of themselves. Why do I want to think about it? I don't think about that anymore than they want to think about me having sexy time. I don't understand. Darth Nugget says, most people don't have an issue with saying gay or being turned gay. It's a misrepresentation of the issue. Only a fringe or bigoted people feel that way. Okay, so talk to me about that, Darth Nugget. Darth Nugget says it's the gender stuff, plain and simple. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's ignore the fact that 20 years ago it would have been gay and now it's moved on to gender, which suggests a pattern of anything unique and strange and unusual. There are a lot of conservative humans who push back regardless. But let's assume for the moment, and I don't think you're wrong, that the gender stuff is probably a higher priority for these parents that are pushing back and people in general. What's the problem with it? What is the problem with the gender stuff? I'm not entirely sure I understand. It makes sense, as Moses, that people are scared of school forming opinions of people. That's what they do to the kids. No kid is born racist, bigot, religious. It's all taught. So their argument is, since they fuck up their own folks with their worldviews, folk can be turned into something they despise. Well, then isn't the real issue why they despise someone for being LGBT? I mean, isn't that the real thing they need to kind of get to the bottom of? Jaffe, aren't you multicasting? No, I'm doing YouTube Monday, Wednesday, Friday at around 3 for Gabbin Games. And then Tuesday, Thursday, I do this thing called Crapshoot on Twitter, Twitch, wherever the fuck we are. Yeah, Aries, you're running low. Aries says, I got to make sure I don't listen to 3 more Elton John songs or I'll cross the threshold. Then gain, who gives a fuck? I guess I'll be gay then. Yeah, gotta be careful if you don't want to be gay. Watch out for those records, man. Now it's mute, not actual mute. People, what? Darth Nugget, try unblock. What's happening with Darth Nugget? I have uBlock on Chrome active. It can block the ads if it's not enabled. Okay. Well, I'm waiting for Darth Nugget to respond to what he was saying, which was it's a problem with gender for these folks. Darth Nugget says, do you think kids are very impressionable? Yes, they are. I mean, not in everything, but in a lot of things, yes, they absolutely are. What is your point, good sir? What's your point? While we're waiting for him to type his point, Incredible Leaf, I know you're from the UK. I want you to give me a rating of my accent. Hello, governor. I'm here watching Love Actually, and I'm a pirate. Come on now, that's at least an 8, right? I don't know, Cod. I know nothing about Twitch. It's been a very long time, but I will look into it. I know the ads are annoying you guys. I will be running ads on this stream, but if they're happening at really bad times, I would like to fix that for all of us, but I don't know how to do it yet. For that to happen, says Moses, these folks would need to realize their worldview is based on prejudice being taught to them. Society forms its peers, and changing society is the battle between conservatives and progressives. Yeah, but aren't we beyond that? Aren't we beyond that? Can't we just look at each other and go, hey, there's this problem, right? There's this thing where, there's conservatives, there's progressives, but we need each other. We need people to keep the progressives from fucking blowing up the planet with crazy ideas, and we need progressives to keep the conservatives from keeping us in the past. And just stop fighting about it and just go, oh, you're one of those people. Okay, cool. I mean, I literally read an ad. I thought it was a lie. The CTO at Bartlett Jones told me once. He said, I read an article that said um, that conservatives have different brains than progressives, liberals, whatever. They're different things, but I think it was liberals or Democrats and Republicans. I forget how they broke it up. And I said, that's bullshit. Where did you read that? He said, the New York Times. What? So I looked it up. Real study from a real fucking fancy pants university. It wasn't some fringe bullshit. And it wasn't a negative thing. It wasn't saying conservatives are good or bad and progressives are good or bad. It was saying that as we've evolved, we have people who, by their very nature of their literal physiology, tend to want to push outside of the box. That's just how they're wired. And you have people that are wired to say, I want to be, I'm more interested in protection and being safe and not rocking the boat because it'll keep us alive. And both of those things have been really important. I don't know why we can't just look at each other and go, oh, you're that, and I'm this, instead of just getting so personal about it. Okay, let me read this. Darth Nugget says, do you think being trans could ever become a fad? Or do you think, hang on, speaking of, there's my trans boy, one moment. Okay. Could trans be a fad? Or do you think kids would never make the choice because their friends did, someone did, or someone they admire did? I think that's the crux of it. Again, well, so two questions about that. Do I think that you could have kids, the more accepted things become, that are just jumping on a bandwagon because, like, oh, this will be fun? Sure, of course, absolutely. Do I think a kid who's doing that versus someone who is born and actually feels that they are that they're dealing with gender dysphoria and they genuinely feel that they are in the wrong body? I think that's a very different thing. And I think that kind of person that's not going anywhere. That will continue to sort of be with them until they choose the only option, which doctors have said the only thing that brings relief for people with gender dysphoria is some sort of transition, right? And then the second thing is, just for the moment, let's entertain fantasy because it doesn't work this way. Let's for the moment assume that being trans becomes a fad. Everybody's doing it. And 20% of the population of kids between the age of 8 and 18 eventually become adults that transition to what they consider the correct sex. Okay. So I'm not entirely sure what's the problem if that were to occur, right? I mean, that seems to be the argument that that's the worst case scenario that could happen. But why? Why is that such a bad thing? Jez says, I bet people are chomping at the bit to be part of a fad where society shuns you and your life is 50 times harder. I mean, that's true as well, right? That's a great point. But yeah, that on top of everything, that's true. Moses says, Darth, if that were true, there would not be a shit ton of laws being drawn, voted, and put into place against trans rights. Oh, if it was just like not a big thing. Okay. No, Darth Nugget, I don't think that's fair. The to suggest that um, that openly or people who obviously present as trans male or female, that there are not places where they go and get hate crimed at worst and at best just mocked. The statistics don't bear out your theory. That is a real thing. That is a real thing to be worried about and sad about. And people who are doing it should hopefully, realize they're being really, really cruel. I'm not saying you do it, but to act as if that's not happening, come on. I mean, good and well. That's happening. It may not be happening where you are, which is great. That means you probably live in a kind city, but there's a lot of places where it does happen. So, all right, fellas. Well, there you go. That has been Crapshoot, episode number 3. The next one we do, which will be Tuesday, I will do my very best to. I got to tell you guys something. I will do my very best to get the. Hello, Blake. To get the. Well, let me get the chat first. I want to see what you guys are saying. Hang on. Darth Nugget says yes. The group that has the full support of every major corporation and the ruling party is definitely shunned. I guarantee you, Darth Nugget, come on. I mean, come on, really, man. I mean, it's one thing to say, I struggle to understand trans folks, or simply I don't like them. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't agree with those things, but I can go, okay. But to suggest that you find me a trans person, and I guarantee you they would trade all the Oreo ads and the LGBT flags that are in their Twitter feed from companies during Pride Month to just feel that they can go out and not be hate crimed for being who they are. I assure you that they don't really give a fuck about the Oreo ads any more than anybody else does. Jay McBride worked with you on Drawn to Death, Blake. What was he? He certainly wasn't. Was he a tester? Was he a tester? Jaffe says, Leaf, my response was automated, but the accent rating, don't do that shit. Let me tell you something, Governor. You're just a saucy knob, eh? You're a wanker, eh? I watch Doctor Who. Okay. That one chicken restaurant is infamously. Oh, Eternal. You're talking about. Eternal is talking about Chick-fil-A. He says that one. That restaurant is notoriously anti-LGBT. Well, yeah. I mean, ultimately, what happened now? People still get a little confused. Where it's the restaurant itself has stopped donating ducats to bad causes that are like anti, conversion camps and anti-LGBT and shit like that. So, but the owner, who also, I really am pissed off at Disney and Marvel more for this. The owner is a super rich guy in Atlanta, and he's actually renting sound stages to all the Marvel movies because they shoot most of their shit in Atlanta. And you'd think they'd push back on that. But anyway, he still makes his money from Chick-fil-A, and he donates it to some pretty rotten places that are not bueno for the LGBT folks. So I still won't eat there until they, really fix their shit. Okay. He's a developer. Okay, well, I'll ask him what department he was in. Maybe he was in the department that did like the online stuff that we worked closely with. Like they had the back end and the server stuff for like matchmaking and everything. Jaffe, did you hear about the Will Smith invaders in Elden Ring? No. This sounds like a setup to a joke. Let me Twitter it real quick or tweet or Google it. Elden Ring Will Smith. Oh my! Twitch streamer encounters Will Smith invader in Elden Ring. Let's see if there's a picture of it. Hang on, I'll show you guys in 1 second. Let's see. Oh my! Well, that's like a 9-hour stream. I'm not watching that shit. So what people have made they've made a Will Smith avatar. I'm thinking a buddy of mine he has been making these staggering, just staggeringly good WWE 2K uh, classic monsters. I don't think he would mind if I showed you. He's the founder of a website, if you're into horror, called Dread Central. He goes by the name Uncle Creepy, but I want to show you a couple of these real quick. And then I'll read that wonder. 1 second. It's kind of crazy. Not now. But check this shit out, man. This is insane. Look at these fucking things he's been making. Share the screen. Look at this. Let me make this one big. So these are wrestlers in WWE 2K. They invade the game and then they leave. The people dressed up as Will Smith. That is insane. Look at that. This guy's like a master at this shit. This is Nosferatu, or I think this guy might be from Salem's Lot. I just, there's the fucking Fly. There's the guy from My Bloody Valentine. There's Art the Clown from Terrifier. I don't know. I don't know how one has the talent to build this shit. I don't understand it. Look at that. Art the Clown and the dude from House of 1,000 Corpses or whatever. Something, man. Fucking crazy. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? I think you can. Somebody was asking, I'll get to Wonder in just a second about it was BB. BB, Jaffe, are you not scared of death while knowing what will happen to you afterwards? I'm scared of having a scary end, but I'm not scared of no longer being alive. I was, before my kids were practically adults. My youngest is 16, my oldest is 18. Now I feel more like, well, yeah, it would be terrible to leave them so soon. I would miss out on a bunch of shit. I want to be there for them. I adore them. I would miss them terribly, but they'd be fine. And in that, I just, I hope I live a long time, but no, I'm not scared. I'm curious. I'm sure I'll be scared, if it's happening, but I am still very, very curious about it. Hey, look at that. Look what we got. Hang on. We got ourselves a new sub. Moses MK, thank you, buddy, for the sub.
Wow, you must be rich.
Absolutely. He must be rich, and he's decided to spend his ducats here at the Gavin Games. Thank you, buddy. I sure do appreciate that, man. It's very, very generous of you. Appreciate it. Chris Rock will make jokes on the Will Smith thing in his upcoming stand-up comedy. Oh, I'm sure he will. Okay, so I just joined this stream. No idea what's going on. Wonder. Okay, David, thank you for creating and directing God of War. To this day, my favorite game of all time. Will always have a special place in my heart. Thank you for the nice words. Very, very much. Very, very much. Thank you. But on behalf of me and the team, because it was Trust me, I'll take credit for the stuff I did. I did some awesome shit. I was awesome. But that team, what a team, man. Couldn't have gotten there without them. So, I mean, it's their game as much as mine. So on behalf of all of us, thank you for that. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say, and it means a lot. Thanks, man. Hang on. I can add more emotes now. Can you share what such sub is worth in a payout? I don't know. I mean, let's see. You subscribed with Prime, which I think is the equivalent of the first tier sub. And the first tier sub, I think, is $4.99. And in terms of the split, I don't know. Let's see. Hello, Heath Nation. How you been, buddy? I've been on Twitch before. It's not like it's my first time. Here, let's see what the payout is. Hang on. Twitch split revenue. I'm an affiliate, right? So let's see what they give me. So that one's 50-50. So you just put $2.50 in my pocket, which I appreciate very, very much. And then over on the YouTube, I think it's 70-30. I think that's correct. The QA team are replaceable. I mean, everyone's replaceable, but the QA team are easier to replace. That doesn't mean they're not valuable members of the team. It just means that if they don't have as much leverage. The only reason, and I'm sure you saw this today, that Activision, other than the people at Raven, for legal reasons, made all of their QA, or the vast majority of their QA, I think it came to over 1,000 jobs full-time, and gave them raises. I don't think that was out of the goodness of their own heart, and I don't think that was because they're worried about replacing them. I think it's wonderful that they did it, of course. I think it's because Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Cory Booker, and one other senator literally wrote to the FTC and said, we have issues with this Activision Microsoft merger, and not the least of which is Bobby Kotick is still there, and he is a bad guy, and we're going to bang the drum unless some things change. And so it wouldn't surprise me if this wasn't Kotick and pals going, let's show them we've turned over a new leaf. It's like, dude, the only leaf you need to turn over are the ones you kick on the way to your car at your last day of work when you're getting ready to drive off and never come back. But that's my take. That's my take. Jaffe, what happens to your games that you spend money on? Like Martha is Dead? I don't know. They just sort of sit on the hard drive, right? And in the Twitch server. No, tentative Activision Blizzard is not a done deal. It's got a, the people I've talked to and that I've also read about seem to think it's going to happen. There may need to be some shifting sands to make sure that it goes through, but it sounds like it's going to go through. But you never know. Who the fuck knows? The fact that these senators have now risen up is a problem. The fact that Bobby Kotick is now being investigated for insider trading with David Geffen and Warren Buffett is a problem. But I don't know if either one of those things will kill the deal. They'll probably end up maybe with Kotick in jail or being forced to leave the company earlier in order to make sure the deal goes through. But I don't think it means the deal is going away. But I'm as, unless you are an expert, I'm as lay on this as anyone else. I don't really fucking know, but that's just the shit that I've read. Tindif says Bobby Kotick's the devil. I don't like him. Bobby Kotick fascinates me because, here's a guy. Random Moose Brains, how often are you getting ads, man? I don't even understand that. You're seeing a lot of fucking ads. You shouldn't be seeing that many. We're doing a 2-hour stream. You're supposed to get a 30-second ad every 30 minutes. So at most you should have seen 3 ads so far. You're seeing it every few minutes. Okay, that's not the intended. I'll fix that. Because I literally have a button I can press for a 60-second ad and I've not touched it. at all. Uncle Fuzznuts, you're getting a ton of ads too. Did you get 2 15-second ads in a row, Cot, or did you get 2 long ads? Yeah, well, let's put okay here. Joe says I got to add in Latin. Here's what I can tell you: if it's not something I can fix, and a lot of people are getting it, then I will. I'll stop streaming over here. I'm not. I don't mind ads, but I'm not looking to do that shit. That's terrible. BB says I only got 2 the whole show. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look into it though before the next one for sure. Yeah, Funky Man says he hasn't seen 1 ad yet. He's feeling left out. That's right. Well, stick around, baby. Okay. Bobby Kotick, real quick though. Let's talk about Bobby Kotick briefly. Bobby Kotick is I'm fascinated by this guy because the guy has so much, and it's like, did he become an asshole and an uncaring person because he was so rich and so disconnected from quote normal people? Or is the very thing that allowed him to become so successful the fact that he was always a piece of shit? And so the rules that most people use to live in this society to him don't apply. And I'll tell you something else. I had somebody the other day, because, I like to talk about religion. I find it fascinating. Why people choose to be religious and things like that. And somebody said to me, this is the argument I will never understand. Somebody said to me, well, if you are religious, or if we didn't have God, then how would we, our behavior would be terrible, right? We would act out and we would be terrible. So we need God. And that's a terrifying thought, that there are a lot of people out there clearly that the only reason they don't shoot you like a dog dead in the street and steal your shit is because they're worried there's some character hanging up in the sky watching them. And again, that's not to be a dick to somebody who feels that way. That's to say we're going to be lucky as fuck if we make it as a species off this planet. Because there are people, like, I don't think when somebody says something like that, I think if you cracked open their brain, you would find, if you cracked open their brain and you could study physiological differences at a level that is not obvious, but you had tools that let you see the less obvious stuff that are still meaningful, you would say, that brain is not as evolved, or it doesn't have as many folds, or it's not as big or something. Because I don't, there's just no real logic to that. Darth Nugget says many people do need religion to supplant their lack of a moral compass. But I understand. And in that, I think we're probably talking about people that are probably really messed up, or just simply not evolved enough. They're not evolved as humans. Jaffe, mankind needs religion, says BB, since we are very sensitive to death and even takes away fear of the afterlife because religious books are filled with answers. Yes, but it's horseshit, though. It's as much horseshit as reading comic books and going, oh, Superman will show up when you need him because he can hear everything. The difference is when you read Superman, it's fiction. But you don't have that obvious awareness for a lot of people when it comes to religion. Eternal says, it's just sad the past's followers... it's just sad followers seem to give political leaders abusing their powers in the name of religion. Yeah. Oh, the pastors. Yeah. And even top members of church, like what went on in the Catholic Church. Oh, I know. At this point, how the fuck you could be Catholic? No offense, but So you can still have your relationship with God. You can still, pray every Sunday, whatever it is you need to get you through the night. But at this point, how the Catholic Church still exists is beyond me. You'd think people would have been like, you know what? You guys, I mean, seriously, think about that. People are worried about Disneyland. People are worried about don't say gay. People are worried about Disneyland's grooming my kids. You need to take a look at the fucking church you're going to. Brett Moore says 80% of religious people think the rapture will happen in their lifetime. How stupid. How stupid. I'm sorry, but how stupid are you? The rapture. Come on. Why is this hard? I'm sorry to be mean. That's wrong. I don't want to be mean to people. They believe what they believe. Listen to me. Listen to me. Saturday. Let me read this first, though. Hang on. Incredible Leaf says, Jeffy, some people need religion because they can't deal with the unknown. I had an argument recently regarding AI being indistinguishable from a human because the other person thought only God can make humanity. They hated the idea. I can't find it. Wait, hang on. They hated the idea that one day you'll be able to grow a baby outside the womb. Only God can do that. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Non-verbatim, I don't understand what you're saying. Don't say gay, but it's right. Oh, I get it. I can never be an atheist, says Darth, any more than I could be a devout Christian. You either think you know or you admit you don't. Yeah, I couldn't be an atheist. I'm only an atheist when it comes to traditional religion. Like I absolutely do not believe in God from the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, what else? Anything like that, I think is that's I think all that's not true, easily not true. But I don't know anything else. BB says, Jeffy, there were over 100 prophets that lived in this world, and some of them performed live miracles. And Jesus, I believe, was the one who performed live necromancy. Yes, but that's a story. I mean, show me, right? Show me that. Show me. We have cell phones. We have, television. We have photographs. Show me somebody making a miracle. I mean, it really, I mean, I don't want to get into it because look, man, you can't argue, and maybe you shouldn't argue with a religious person because they'll just come at you and say, oh, well, you have to have faith. Why? That makes no sense. There's no logic to support any of those fantasy things you're saying occurred in the Bible. None. I do want to tell you where there's logic. There's logic to say to my good friend Johnny Minthal, this.
Wow, you must be rich.
Johnny Minthal, thank you so much for subbing with Prime, with your Prime subscription. I very much appreciate that, Johnny Minthal. It's good to see you as always, and I do appreciate that support. Thank you, pal. Very nice of you, bud. Is Jesus the first wizard or zombie? I mean, yeah. I know. BB says I'm making excuses. Excuses for what? Mo Chocolate, how are you, sir? DJ, I hope your week is going amazing. Stay awesome. Thanks, buddy. I don't know what Twitch is. So he sent me. Did you send me something? It's got a little heart with the thing 100 by it. Is that like a bit? because I don't have all that set up yet. But whatever it is, thank you for the heart. Thank you for the 100, whatever that is. I think those are bits though, right? But thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Okay, it's bits. Okay, so I've always seen bits as the gems, but now they have hearts. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, Masochista says, I watched a horrible video of two girls getting decapitated. My first thought was, where was God if he was real? Yeah. Christianity, like other Abrahamic religions, just copy pasta of previous religions. Of course, absolutely. Fuck you, Tentative 2. I'm a YouTube fella for the most part, except for this show. I don't know what a hype train is. I have no idea. I've seen that floating around though. Will you watch the new Priest Father movie with Mark Wahlberg? I don't understand that. So what you're telling me, BB, and you're not telling me this, but what you're telling me is, after everything Mel Gibson did, he can be in a movie, okay? But Will Smith is having a lot of his movies canceled. That Ezra Flash guy just got into an altercation in a bar and got arrested. And Warner Brothers is now talking about, yeah, we can't do a movie with you either. It's like, Will Smith made a mistake. I don't even know if it was a mistake. I think it was bad form. I think he made a fool of himself, and I think he's an idiot for what he did. But he didn't get arrested. He didn't break the law. He slapped somebody. So what? I mean, it's bad if, but you're not going to release Will Smith's movies. He didn't kill anybody. He didn't even maim anybody. He just slapped somebody. Yeah, Masochista, all of it, man, is YouTube YouTube needs to get their shit together. Wait, okay, I don't know what this is. Incredible Leaf, Konami PlayStation thing. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Let me look it up. I'll put it up on the screen. Konami PlayStation. Okay, here's the news. Konami. I don't see anything. What happened? What is the Konami news? Because I'm not seeing it anywhere. No, I agree. I'm just saying it's weird that Mel Gibson can do what Mel Gibson did. And he's still working, but these other guys are not. That's all I'm saying. Well, yeah, you're saying it's rumors. But then you're saying it looks like it's real. So what's the rumor? That PlayStation bought Konami? Which I think would be a stupid purchase, but wasn't Mel Gibson banished for a decade? I mean, banished isn't a real thing. He was still making movies. He was still making money. And the guy didn't do anything that should have had him arrested. But if you're gonna basically say Will Smith, Netflix, and Warner Brothers or whoever won't release your movies because you slap somebody, which was totally stupid. But I mean, maybe unless they're going, dude, we're not making a moral choice. We know right now we're going to delay his movies for the next 6 months, not because we don't like him, but we want to let this pass. Okay, I could see that, but I don't know if that's what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't see any of this Konami stuff. I'll do some research before Gabbing and Games tomorrow. So what I was going to tell you guys, though, real quick, is there's a movie. There's a movie. Who's Deviation? What do they do? Deviation Studios? Mudstar says, have you seen images of Deviation Studios? They have dual senses on their walls. What do they do? What do they make? Deviation. You guys made. Jesus Christ, guys. Where's your fucking. This website's terrible. It's so gross. Isn't that terrible of me? Terrible of me to make fun of the website. Here, look at the website. You tell me, am I being a dick? Look at this website. Have you seen the image of Deviation? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But here they are. But I don't. What have they made? What do these guys make? Look at this website. It's just so dorky. Look at this shit. I don't want to see that. I want to see all this fucking bullshit. Look at this bullshit. I don't like it. I'm not terrible. I'm such an asshole. I don't mean to be. All right. Is nobody going to tell me what they make? And that's what's funny. I don't even know what the fuck these guys make. It's like, it's your website. What do you fucking make? Anything? At all? What do you fucking create? Have they ever made a game? Is that what it is that isn't out yet? Oh, they haven't made anything. Oh, well then no. I'm almost certain they're not acquired. I mean, they could be, but they probably just have dual shocks or dual senses on the wall because, why not? Because they're working on a PlayStation game, I guess. Listen to me. Here's the movie. We're showing 2 movies on Saturday, Pot and Popcorn. That's for Gabbin' and Games. The first movie is Diet Soda Soldiers and Up. I think I might do one movie that's open to everybody just so people can see if they enjoy it. I think the second movie might be Kung Fu and Titties, but the first movie, I'm going to show you a trailer. I hope I don't get a trademark thing, but look at this thing. This thing is awesome. This thing is awesome. Look at this fucking thing. Hang on. All right. Look at this fucking thing, you guys. Look at this fucking thing. I've already showed you this. I don't think I've showed you this yet. You got to see this fucking cockadoo thing. All right. Watch this. All right. This is a trailer. I'll go big screen on it. We're going to watch the Necrophiles this Saturday, along with some other motion picture, but I'm not sure what it is yet. Watch this thing. Oh, shit. You can't hear it anyway. God damn it. All right. We'll just watch it anyway. Did I already show you guys this? Yeah, you couldn't hear it, right? Anyway, it's got a metal background music. Come on now. Come on now. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. Come on now. Come on now. And that baby makes this great sound when it's flying through the air. It's like, listen to me. So what I'm going to try to do, is get Twitch linked up with Discord. That way, if you subscribe on Twitch, you can also watch the Gavin and Games movie night. I don't want you to have to pay twice if you're already subbed over here. But that'll be Saturday, and I don't know if that's going to be the first movie or the second one. What's up? So I'll keep you guys informed. I'll put up the details sometime tomorrow. And then I'm not entirely sure what the next movie will be. But anyway, there you go. This has been Crapshoot. Jesus, man. Crapshoot. It's been Crapshoot for Thursday, April 7th. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, sometime in that world, I will be on YouTube with a new Gavin and Games. That is a less chat-heavy show. That is more really game news discussion. I read super chats, and I also will take people calling in on Discord, which won't cost you any money if you want to talk live on the show. And just a reminder, we're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to be doing Gavin and Games, and we'll be doing Crapshoot Tuesday, Thursdays, assuming people like this format and they like the topics. I've had some people tell me I like the format, but I would rather it just be all about games. So I'll kind of keep an eye out on what you guys let me know in the Discord and Twitter and things, which one you would prefer. In fact, hang on. I'm going to put a poll up right now before we wrap up. New poll. So this is what you can do on Twitch. You can't do in other places. Should Crapshoot be game-centric? Any cool topics? Okay. I'll make it a very short poll. It's 3 minutes, and it is now it is live. Can you guys see the poll? Do you see it? I don't know where it should appear. It might appear down below under the channel. Does that make sense? Do you guys see a poll? All right. Well, you guys hit the poll. It's in the top right. You can watch these later, yes. And then Brett Moore, this will also be over on YouTube. Certainly for members, maybe for everyone come tomorrow afternoon. So let me look at the results. All right. So how do we have 50 people watching and only 9 people voting? How is this hard? Vote. BB, Jaffe, watch Moon Knight. I've seen Moon Knight. I've seen the first episode. I haven't seen the second one. I love the first episode. I thought it was great. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to hold my breath as long as I can. And when I'm done, I will go with that decision. Here we go. Thank you, gameplay. I appreciate it, buddy. 85% want any cool topics. Okay. Eternal says it's voter suppression. He can't vote. All right. So we'll go with any topics. And then if you're here for the games, we'll do YouTube Wednesday, Monday, Friday. And if you don't follow me on Twitter, at David Scott Jaffe, join the Discord, follow me on YouTube. What else? Buy the merch. Eat a donut. I don't know. I got nothing. Fellas, be well. I had fun talking with you. Had fun hanging out with you. I hope you had the same. And I will see you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, everyone.